very interested in how we react to new technologies. And I don't know what you think about it, but why we are very sensitive to emerging technologies. Is it in human nature that we have fear towards the new? I would just quote Michael Sandel from Harvard University. He's a political philosopher. He said, I'm quoting his interview called The Perfect Human Being series, that he says, this fear of technology comes from the possibility that we are remaking the human nature in some ways. So what's your reflection on this? Why do we fear new technologies and that we want to
So I have two comments
from them?
Yeah, I have two comments. The first one is that technology is new. The notion of new technology is relatively new. You go back 500 years and you can live your entire adult life without ever seeing new technology. The pace of technological change was so slow that it barely changed from generation. And the pace of change, where even 20-year-old technology is old, or 10-year-old technology is a very recent development and something that we are not used to. So my guess is that a reluctance to change is fundamentally human in some way that I don't understand. And I would be interested if psychologists and sociologists have studied that, right? The changing pace of technological change and how that affects people across the centuries, the millennia. The second is that I think a fear of technological change is very much a fear of capitalism. That it's not the tech change that is what's being feared. It's who controls it, it's how it's used, it's the power. Fiction author Ted Chiang made this point. I think it's a really perceptive point. He made it about AI in an interview, a podcast interview, I forget which one. Interview with Ezra Klein. He said that most people's fears of AI are actually fears of capitalism. And I think that generalizes. People's fears of technology are not fears of like the technology per se, but who's controlling it and how it can be used against you. Right? And we live in a world where a lot of the tech is built and used against our interests. I think that's where the fear comes from. And it's a perfectly rational fear.